I want to start by first saying thank you to the National Council of Professionals for the work they have done, not only today, but over the past couple of years. And this is a part of a longer process that they had begun. Also to say thank you to Dr. Irvin Studin and the renowned expert on public policy and governance, to Professor Sajith, who have joined us, joined the leader of the SJB, Sajith Premadasa, and all of us. So we want to say on behalf of the leader and everyone, I want to say a very big thank you right at the beginning. So today we are having this as an ongoing part of our policy making and governance process. Now, Sri Lanka's natural assets like geographical location and the nature's bounty of fauna and flora are well known since ancient times, including in recorded interactions with the Roman and the Asokan empires. While all this can be leveraged for local benefit, no such asset, including modern era human resource capacities of Sri Lanka, will become automatically beneficial to the country unless they are backed by physical, robust infrastructure and internationally recognized, transparent, and trustworthy regulatory environment. So for building such physical and regulatory infrastructure, it is best for Sri Lanka to be multi-aligned as a nation, and entities that currently hold and wield global economic levers for us to be very much in conversation and dialogue with them. This requires a sophisticated web of external relationships, not driven by glib rhetoric like we often hear, but a well-thought and carefully crafted foreign relations approach as well. It must be a dynamic policy framework, and I'm talking of all policy here, framework, and not a set of archaic political ideas that are based on habit and presumptuous assumptions of self-importance removed from local and international ground realities. Such a policy approach must be both strategic in content for the long term, and it has to be tactical for short-term gain and advantage. It should be in line with national interests and aspirations of the public belonging to all communities living in this country. So the objectives of this workshop are to gain a comprehensive understanding of the geopolitical and economic challenges faced by Sri Lanka, and we are looking forward to hearing from our speakers, and engage in the discussion on effective policy making and building consensus. Now the SJB, we are the government in waiting, and that's why we are preparing. We seek office to make a difference and not to succumb to populism. This is why we are seeking office. We want to say that merit must become a guiding principle of our government, and particularly on policy making and on implementation. So we have an election to face, and therefore we are going through the process of governance and policy making. So the process involves academics, professionals, experts, the public. It's an inclusive process. We're bringing everybody into it, into this process. So what's the problem? What's the agenda? What are the options on policy? Then the decision-making side, implementation, evaluation, those are for the future, but we must follow this process. I must say the National Council of Professionals have done a lot of work. They have identified, in fact, 27 sectors which they have worked very diligently over a long period of time. So it's an informed policy-making process. It has to fit the 21st century. So as a developing country, we should not have any illusions about current realities, both internal or external. Internal in terms of the state of governance and institutions. This is a challenge that we actually have. Rule of law, economy, human rights, reconciliation, political, military, religious nexus, and the related problems, climate and environmental realities, social issues in terms of health, aging population, and the human resource constraints that we actually have. So the external challenges that we have and the realities we have to face up to, external in terms of understanding Sri Lanka's realities as a developing country, and I know some people don't like when I use that word, right, because we say middle income and there are so many different definitions, but I use it in the sense of the market and skilled human resources. That's where our limitations are. The immediate neighborhood and beyond we need to look, and being able to shed illusions of past grandeur in facing the realities of the current circumstances, because we try to always live in the past, you see, and the country has really, in the last 40 years, we have come down on any scale that you look in the world or even in Asia. So my final word would be this: public policy is the manifestation of government governance in practice. I was privileged to hear Dr. Irwin yesterday also and other comments there as well, and in what is actually governance and what is actually public policy. So public policy is the manifestation of government governance in practice. Our public policy is often, right, limited but archaic structural issues. So policy is important, but if we don't sort the governance issue, then we are going to be in a problem. I believe that Sri Lanka's number one issue, lots of people come to me because I'm an economist and talk to me, it's not the economy, it's the rule of law. The IMF issued its governance report, the diagnostic. Civil society issued a diagnostic report just recently. IMF sessions are on in Marrakech in Morocco starting today, and now there is going to be a session on the governance reports on Sri Lanka. So good governance is transparency, responsibility, accountability, participation, and responsiveness. Good governance delivers on the promise, and this is Sajith Premadasa keeps emphasizing this. It delivers on the promise of civil, cultural, economic, political, and social rights. The Samagijana Balavegya, we don't believe just on the economy only. We strongly believe in all these civil, cultural, economic, political, and social rights. We look forward to the presentations and the discussions that will follow. A happy evening to all of you. Thank you.